One night transformed my perception of safety into a chilling reminder of vulnerability, as I encountered a home invasion that seemed torn from the pages of a horror novel. The serenity of my neighborhood, once a source of comfort, became the backdrop for a nightmare that unfolded with terrifying intimacy. It began with an almost imperceptible sound, a creak that under normal circumstances would have gone unnoticed, but on that night, it was a harbinger of dread. My heart raced, pounding against my chest with the ferocity of a trapped animal, as the realization dawned on me. Someone had entered my home, shattering the illusion of my sanctuary. Frozen in fear, I lay in bed, engulfed by darkness that now seemed alive with malevolent intent. The air felt thick, charged with a palpable sense of danger that suffocated every breath. I wanted to call out, to flee, but fear had rendered me immobile, a silent witness to my own nightmare. The intruder moved through my house with eerie silence, their presence an oppressive force that loomed just beyond my sight. The sounds of my belongings being disturbed echoed through the halls, each noise a violation, each violation a theft of more than just physical items. It was a theft of peace, of security. In the throes of terror, a primal instinct took over. I fumbled for my phone, my fingers shaking as I dialed for help. The wait for the police was an eternity, a liminal space where every second was a battle between hope and despair. When the sirens finally cut through the night, the intruder disappeared, leaving behind a void where once there was the illusion of safety. The aftermath was a haze of lights and voices, the recounting of the invasion to the police a surreal experience, each word a confirmation of the night's reality. In the weeks that followed, the scars of that night were not just physical, but psychological. Sleep evaded me, each night a replay of the invasion, each shadow a potential harbinger of return. My home, once a haven, now felt like a battleground, every creak a reminder of the fragility of safety. This experience taught me the true meaning of vulnerability, of the thin line between normalcy and chaos. It was a harsh lesson in the realities of fear, and the enduring impact of a single terrifying night. The invasion may have ended, but the shadows it cast lingered, a constant reminder of the night when my home became the setting for a true horror story. The weeks following the home invasion unfolded like a series of disjointed scenes from a movie I never wanted to star in. My once peaceful neighborhood now seemed to leer at me with hidden threats lurking in every shadow and behind every closed door. Friends and family offered their sympathies and support, but their words often felt like they were spoken from across a vast, insurmountable distance. They wanted to understand, to help me bridge the gap back to normalcy, but how could they comprehend the depth of fear that had taken root in my soul? Determined not to let the invasion define me, I embarked on a journey to reclaim my home and my sense of security. It started with the physical, changing locks, installing a security system, and even redecorating parts of the house to erase the visual reminders of that night. But the emotional and psychological scars proved far more difficult to heal. I sought help from a therapist who introduced me to the concept of trauma and its profound impact on one's psyche. Our sessions delved into the layers of fear and vulnerability exposed by the invasion, and slowly, I began to understand the invasion not just as an isolated event, but as a catalyst that forced me to confront my deepest fears. Venturing outside became a trial. The simple act of stepping out the door each morning required a pep talk, a ritual of checking and double-checking the security measures in place. The world outside, once a stage for my ambitions and desires, now felt like an arena where unseen adversaries waited. I took self-defense classes, not just to learn how to protect myself, but to regain a sense of control over my body and space. Each punch and kick in the air was a strike against the helplessness that had consumed me that night. With every session, I felt a piece of my old self return, tempered now with a new strength forged in adversity. The police investigation moved at a pace that was agonizingly slow. Every call from the detective was a pulse of hope, followed by the inevitable letdown as leads went cold and suspects were cleared. The lack of closure gnawed at me, a constant reminder of the night's unresolved terror. But I refused to be passive. I organized community safety workshops and met with local leaders to discuss crime prevention strategies. Transforming my experience into action not only helped me find a sense of purpose, but also connected me with others who had faced similar trials. Together, we built a network of support and advocacy that stretched beyond our individual stories. Months turned into a year, and the anniversary of the invasion approached like a storm cloud on the horizon. The date held a weight, a marker of time lost to fear and the struggle for recovery. Yet as I reflected on the year past, I recognized not just the scars but the growth. I had learned that safety is not just a physical state, but a mental construct shaped by our experiences and perceptions. My home, once violated, was now a fortress of strength and resilience. My relationships, strained in the aftermath, had deepened, forged in the fires of shared adversity. The invasion, though a defining moment, was no longer the entirety of my story. It was a chapter marked by fear and vulnerability, but also by courage and transformation. As I looked to the future, I saw not a return to the old normal, but the embrace of a new reality. One where I was no longer a victim, but a survivor, an advocate, and a beacon of hope for others navigating their way out of the shadows. The journey from that terrifying night to the person I am today was filled with challenges, but each step, each moment of fear faced and overcome, was a testament to the strength I never knew I had. The home invasion shattered the illusion of safety, but in its place, it built something far more valuable, a profound understanding of my own resilience and the unbreakable human spirit.